The gymnasium buzzed with electric excitement, a sea of proud parents waving signs, snapping photos, and cheering as their kids stepped into the future. But in the shadows of the side entrance, one man slipped in quietly, head bowed, praying the crowd wouldn't notice him. His name was Alden Reyes, and today was never supposed to be about him. Today belonged to his son, Orion, the kid who'd fought tooth and nail to become valedictorian. Yet sometimes, the universe has a dramatic flair for ripping open old chapters the moment you swear they're sealed forever. Sunlight poured like liquid gold through the high windows, and as Alden reached for the graduation program, a stray beam danced across his forearm. For one heartbeat, the faded Navy tattoo, a trident wrapped in wings and etched with coordinates only a few souls on Earth would ever recognize, flared to life. He yanked his sleeve down fast, but it was already too late. 20 rows ahead, a decorated Navy captain froze mid-step, eyes locked on that ink like he'd just seen a ghost rise from the ocean floor. If you've ever believed that one act of kindness, one overlooked hero, or one second chance can rewrite someone's entire story, then buckle up, because what happened next will leave you speechless. Hit that like button, drop a comment, share this with someone who needs to remember that silent heroes walk among us, and don't forget to subscribe to Midnight Tales. We're on a mission to flood the world with stories that prove goodness still wins. Alden Reyes had spent the last 18 years pushing a janitor's cart through the echoing halls of Roosevelt Public High. He knew every scuff mark, every squeaky door, every secret corner where heartbroken teenagers cried between classes. He never complained. The work was honest, the paycheck kept the lights on, and most importantly, it let him be there for Orion, the tiny, motherless baby he'd promised the universe he would raise right after cancer stole his wife Mara in the blink of an eye. Long before the mop and the bleach, Alden had been something else entirely. A Navy search and rescue diver. The kind of man they sent into hell when everyone else was running out. Storm-lashed seas, burning ships, zero visibility. He'd swum straight into the fire while others prayed. One mission in particular still haunted the history books they never bothered to write. A catastrophic engine room blaze on a guided missile destroyer. The official report called it miraculous that every soul made it out alive. The men who lived through it knew the real reason. They'd been carried out, one by one, by a diver who refused to leave anyone behind, even when the flames kissed his own skin and the smoke filled his lungs like cement. That diver was Alden Reyes. When he finally collapsed on deck, mask cracked, fins melted, they thought he was dead. He woke up 3 days later asking about the crew first, and himself never. But heroes don't always get parades. Grief is a thief that steals louder than any explosion. After Mara died, the Navy offered counseling, extended leave, anything he needed. Alden needed his son to have a father who came home every single night, not one who might vanish into the deep forever. So he hung up the dive knife, took the janitor job at the school Orion would one day attend, and buried that old life 6 feet under. He covered the tattoo with long sleeves. He dodged Veterans Day assemblies. He became invisible on purpose, because pity felt worse than being forgotten. Orion never knew the full story. He just knew his dad was the strongest man alive, the one who worked double shifts so he could afford soccer cleats, who stayed up helping with calculus until 2 a.m., who never missed a single game or concert, even when his back screamed from mopping floors all day. Orion grew up kind, brilliant, unstoppable. Top of his class, captain of the debate team, volunteer coach for little kids. He was everything Alden once dreamed of being before. The world knocked him down. And today, under these bright lights and swaying banners, Orion was about to give the valedictorian speech everyone had been waiting for. Alden took his seat in the very last row, half hidden behind a concrete pillar like always. Old work boots, one clean shirt ironed at 4 a.m., hands clasped tight so no one would spot the faint chemical smell still clinging to the fabric. He planned to clap quietly, wipe a proud tear no one would see, and vanish before the cookie reception even started. Just let the boys shine. That was enough. But destiny, it seems, had booked front row seats and brought tissues. Captain Miles Harrington, chest full of medals, posture carved from granite, was late finding a seat. As he scanned the back row, his gaze snagged on Alden's accidentally exposed forearm. Time slowed. The captain's face drained of color, then flooded with something deeper than shock. Recognition, gratitude, guilt, all of it crashing together like waves against a pier. His polished shoes stopped dead. A lesser man might have just nodded respectfully and moved on. Captain Harrington did no such thing. He walked straight to Alden, eyes already glistening, and without asking permission, gently touched the tattoo like it was made of glass. Alden flinched, tried to tug his sleeve down, cheeks burning red. "Sir, please," he whispered, mortified. But the captain shook his head, slow and solemn, the way you do when words feel too small for what's in your chest. On stage, the principal's voice boomed. Valedictorian, Orion Elias Reyes. The gym exploded. Orion rose, tall and steady in his crimson gown, scanning the crowd for the one face he always looked for. He found his dad, and saw a 4-star Navy captain standing at attention beside him, tears streaming freely now, saluting with a hand that would not stop trembling. You could have heard a pin drop. Phones whipped out. Whispers rippled like wildfire. Orion's eyes went wide. He abandoned the podium mid. Introduction, flew down the steps, and sprinted across the gym floor. The crowd parted like the Red Sea for this kid who suddenly realized the quiet man in the back row had once parted actual oceans to save lives. Captain Harrington turned to the microphone someone thrust toward him, voice cracking but strong. 18 years ago, I was a terrified lieutenant on a ship that was supposed to be my coffin. Every man Jack on that crew owes our lives to the diver who went back into the fire again and again and again. The Navy classified the details, but I can tell you this, that hero has been mopping these halls, raising that incredible young man, and never once asked for a thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, your janitor is the reason I'm breathing today. Silence. Then the dam broke. The entire gymnasium rose as one. Not polite golf clap applause, thunder that rattled the rafters. Grown men sobbed openly. Teachers who'd known Alden for years stared like they were seeing him for the first time. Students screamed themselves hoarse. And Alden, he tried to shrink, tried to disappear like always. But Orion's arms locked around him, so tight escape was impossible. Father and son stood there in the eye of the storm, one in a cap and gown, the other in worn boots and a shirt that still smelled faintly of lemon cleaner, while 1,200 people roared their gratitude for a hero who never wanted the spotlight. When the noise finally settled, Orion took the microphone with tears rolling down his cheeks and said the words that broke the internet later that night. My dad always told me real heroes don't wear capes. They show up every single day, even when no one's watching. Today, the world finally gets to see what I've known my whole life. By the time they spilled out into the golden afternoon sun, strangers were hugging Alden, veterans saluting, little kids asking for his autograph on their programs. Someone started chanting Reyes, Reyes, and the whole senior class picked it up, until the parking lot echoed with it. Alden Reyes walked out of that gymnasium not as the quiet janitor who hid in the shadows, but as the father, the diver, the silent legend finally dragged into the light where he belonged. And if you asked him later what the best part of the day was, he wouldn't say the standing ovation or the medals they promised were coming, or even the full-ride scholarship offers that suddenly flooded in for Orion. He'd tell you it was the moment his son looked at him. No pity, no disappointment, just pure pride, and said, "Dad, thank you for teaching me what real strength looks like." So if this story wrecked you in the best way, do me a favor, smash that like button until it breaks. Leave a comment that simply says respect if you believe silent heroes deserve their flowers while they can still smell them. Share this video with every person who needs a reminder that kindness and courage still walk among us in work boots and faded tattoos. And subscribe to Midnight Tales, because every week we hunt down the stories that prove the world is still softer and braver than the headlines want you to believe. Alden and Orion Reyes walked off into the sunset that day. Father and son, hero and heir, Two ordinary, extraordinary souls who reminded us all that sometimes the greatest plot twists aren't written in Hollywood. They're written in the quiet sacrifices nobody sees, until one random sunbeam hits a tattoo and the whole world finally stands up to say thank you. Midnight Tales, where the best stories hide in plain sight. See you in the next one.